Good evening, everyone. This is Nagarajan from OpenMentor.net. Is my voice clear to you all? Can you please raise your hands? There is a hand symbol. You can raise that and then leave it, and I will bring it down. Great. Okay. Good. Welcome to this week webinars from OpenMentor. This week we have been focusing on e-commerce, test complete, Java, web, PHP programming, right? And one of the important things that you might have noted in OpenMentor, we have been now giving a lot of concepts. In fact, we have given concepts in banking, also in healthcare, right? We have also given concepts on designs, right? This week we are going to give concepts on e-commerce. Next week, again on logistics domain, because domain knowledge is very important, especially if a software developer or a tester is put into that particular kind of a project. It is absolutely essential that one knows the domain. This week we have taken the revenue earning domain called e-commerce. This is there right from, if you have seen, in late 1999 or say 98 to almost 2001. You could have seen something like dot-coms, right? These 3 to 4 years were all called the dot-com years. That is the time something changed in the industry as well. Before we proceed into the details of e-commerce, I would like to talk about maybe 5 minutes on basic commerce, right? The moment we have a person who sells and another person who buys, connecting these two people, a product or service is there, right? Set of people sell, set of people buy, right? What connects these two people is either a product or a service. A product may be food, it may be a food product, or it may be medicine, or it may be a gadget, electronic gadget, or it may be footwear, or it may be dress, right? That's a product. A service meaning, right, washing the car or cleaning clothes. That's a service, right? Including driving the taxi. These are all services. So anywhere in the product or in service, there is a buyer, there is a seller, and it is huge. We all yearn to spend and save, right? If I only spend, that's also not good. If I only save, that's also not good. So I have to yearn, I have to spend, I have to save. Spending is to ensure today I am happy because I need something. Saving is for the future so that tomorrow I am happy. It's a fundamental principle everywhere in any commerce. Is this very, very basic thing clear to you all? Good. And one of the reasons why we talk about this in this kind of frank, free and fundamental is when we ask most of the people, whether they are freshers or experienced, tell me, assume that I am a layman. I don't know anything about this. Explain me in simple words. Explain something in simple words. Explain software. Explain internet. Most of the people do not know how to explain that. And that is absolutely essential for software companies so that people know the fundamentals very, very clearly. When we have seen many people in our consulting, especially in the e-commerce domain, they all do web programming, but without even understanding the fundamental principles of e-commerce. That is why we made sure, okay, at least 3 hours of very basics and concepts and backbone of e-commerce. If you know this part, learning the other part is extremely simple. Let us start. So there is a buyer, there is a seller. Most of the trade or the exchange happen in designated places. This designated place may be a market. If it is vegetable, it's a market. Or it may be a shop, right? Or it may be a, I would say, auction. A specific place. You could see a lot, maybe 1 or 2 markets in the whole town. Lot of shops everywhere. Shops do vary from size to size. A small shop with just 10 cross 10 feet. Another big shop which is having half a kilometer by half a kilometer, right? Auctions do not happen throughout the year in a specific place, but once in a year or so, the people who come with auction, they come with material, they do auctions. So most of this buying and selling happen either in a market or in a shop or in auctions. There is an advantage and disadvantage in this. First of all, the advantage is I can see the material, I can feel the material, I can touch the material, right? And then I can buy. Obviously, there is some amount of maja in that, right? You go to a shop and touch something and then you feel it. If it's a textile cloth, then you just use your 2 fingers to find the texture of it. You feel it. If it's a vegetable, you smell it, right? You turn here and there with that mango and then see. That's a fun, right? This direct shopping is always fun. But as long as somebody else spends, right, it is always fun. But if somebody spends on your purse, then it's a problem. This is happening everywhere. And if you look at direct shopping, there is a counter, right? You can always see a counter where money is collected. There are shelves in which articles are arranged. Okay, this particular section, shelves I would say, then sections, right? Kids wear section, ladies wear section, footwear section, toys, right? There will be different sections within the shop, and there are different people who explain, not the shopkeepers alone. There are additional people who will explain about that. Shelves, sections, people who are explaining, counter guy, right? Sometimes if I buy a refrigerator, I may not be able to get that, put it onto my truck and then bring it. So there is a door delivery. This also happens. You go to any shop, any mall, right? It is the same place. Do you agree with me or not? This is a basic concept in selling. If you agree, please raise your hands. Good, very good. Now, this is basic commerce. That means a shop is a business. A normal man who is a buyer, right? He is consumer, right? A consumer is a person who is either a family person or an individual who buys something on his or her need by directly going to the shop. In 1998-99, internet started booming. So people thought, okay, why can't we use internet as selling medium? So the net as a selling medium, can we try that out? That's what people tried. That is where so many .coms got formed. There's an advantage as well as there's a disadvantage. The disadvantage there is, if I want to buy a vegetable, I cannot smell it. If I want to buy a cloth, I cannot buy it out so easily. I cannot touch it, right? I cannot feel it. If I want to buy a camcorder or a camera, I cannot hold it, see that, right? That's always that human touch is missing. Definitely, yes, there is a human touch that misses. The second part, right? Whereas the second part is, if I need to buy from a shop, I need to go to that shop. So there is a travel time. And if you go by your bike, then petrol or fuel, right? That's always there. Second thing, if that item is not locally made, people make huge profits because that item is not available in your place. For example, if you go to the hilly areas like say Ooty in Tamil Nadu, the price of carrot and potatoes is cheap, very cheap, because carrot and potatoes are the local vegetables homegrown in that area. Whereas if you go 100 kilometers away from the hill, carrot and potatoes are costly because it is not available there. Scarcity makes things costly. But if internet is there, I don't have to go to the shop. Shop comes to my house through the internet and I can buy. So price war started. Should I buy it in the local shop or should I buy it in the internet? This is what is the early points of e-commerce. Electronically make the trade happen between the buyer and the seller. Is this clear? Even today, 95% of purchase happens directly from the shop. Only 5% is online. Not many people do that. But in certain areas, the online has taken over direct purchase. For example, let us take railways reservation. In India, previously we used to get tickets only from counter. Now we get from net. Which one do you prefer? If you prefer net, please raise your hands. Yeah, many people are raising their hands because it is easy. I can minimize my waiting time in the queue. I can minimize my waiting time, traveling time, right? and still I can, if I am able to gain the time, I can get the tickets also. Currently, tickets booked over the internet is more than the tickets booked over the counter. So in our Indian Railways booking scenario, net is overcoming the, or say it's exceeding the direct purchase. Same way, all people are expecting that the online purchase will go up, and that's a huge market. People can make money out of that huge market. This is the basic philosophy of e-commerce. So make the trade happen via internet. Very simple phenomena. Now, I'm going to show you a few example sites. Okay. If you can see this example site, okay, this is Amazon.com. Okay, Amazon.com is one of the most successful multi-billion e-commerce site. Okay, if you get a chance, go through this about Amazon.com, right, and then read what is the revenue that they gain out of this particular website. It is huge. Okay, I don't know why this pop-up block came. Anyway, Amazon.com is one of the most successful e-commerce. If you see right here, I am in Chennai. Kindle is the one, like, say you will do a double take, reads like real paper. That means instead of having a book, hard copy book in my hand, I can have an electronic gadget that can store thousands of books somebody sells over the internet. Here if you see, you can see something like books and then some subcategories. Movies, some subcategories. Digital downloads, computer, office, laptops and notebooks. So there is a category, right? Shop all departments, or say there's a category, subcategory, right? And I can do a search. For example, I can just select electronics, and I can go here and then say camcorder and then say go. I can do a search, right? And it displays me all the items. And you can see something like a shopping cart over here, and there is something called a wish list, and there is something called the sign in. Have you got a look at Amazon.com? So you can see some images, some title, price, right? Some information about that. Are you able to visualize how they have put that information in the website? Amazon.com is the most successful and revenue earning.com. Now, hold on a second. I'm going to take you to one more website. Overstock.com. This is another very, very successful multi-billion dollar e-commerce site. It takes some time to load on my machine. So the Overstock.com is another website where e-commerce happens. You could see a striking coincidence between this site and Amazon.com. Look here. There is always a lot of sections, right? Jewelry, watches, electronics, sports, books and media, right? You might have seen the same thing in Amazon.com also. Books and media, electronics. Then if I click electronics, then cameras, computers, networks, cell phones, right? You could see a lot more information right there. And if you go down, there's a picture, there's a title, there is a price, right? This is a cooling glass, right? Now let me take you to one more place where you could see very similar things, okay? www.become.com, okay? This is also another website where online shopping happens. Become.com, okay? You could see striking coincidence between that and this site. Automotive, electronics, subcategories, right? Books and musics and movies. And there is a product, there is a title, there is a price. So, in simple terms, instead of having sections in shop, we have got menus in UI, correct? Instead of shelves, right, in shop, we have submenus or categories. Exactly like shop, instead of the product in shop, here image is shown. Price tag is there in barcode. Here also price tag is there. So exactly how people are having in the shop, e-commerce also tries to do that. But only difference is I don't have the product in front of my eyes to touch it, to feel it. But sitting from India, I can order an iPhone. It will be sent to me over the post, right? Courier people will deliver it to my house. I don't have to go anywhere else. In a few clicks, I can purchase. That's the power. Now imagine one shop can have millions of customers. Whereas if you have a shop in Chennai, a Delhi guy will not come to Chennai to purchase from your shop. Or if I'm on the other part of Chennai, to travel 40 kilometers to reach that shop, it is very difficult for me. Whereas in e-commerce, the biggest advantage is sitting from anywhere, you can have any customers. That's the biggest advantage. That is why rather than putting a shop in a town, Amazon.com put the shop over the internet and they became multi-billion-dollar company. Is this clear to you all? The very fundamental way that the people do, and what is the analogy between a real shop and the e-commerce shop? Is this clear? Now, I'm going a little bit deeper into that. Okay, I'm going to open overstock.com. Okay, I open overstock.com. I'm going to get a particular product. Let it open. Okay, I'm going to search for a particular product and then view the details of the product. Because in e-commerce, the only way that you can get to know about the product is by seeing the image, is by reading the information. Whereas if you go to the shop directly, you don't read so much of catalog. There'll be some 1 or 2 page brochures that you may see, but more than that, you see the product itself, right? Okay. Now, let me take electronic. Under electronics, I just made a click on it. I'm clicking on digital cameras. Okay. So in a shop, I'm going to a particular section. Within that, I'm going to a particular shelf where the digital cameras are stored. Now, I could see so many cameras. Within that, I'm just taking this red one, okay, cherry red. I'm just clicking on it, and it shows me, okay, this is a picture. This is a smaller image. So if I click view larger, right, it shows me a bigger picture. It shows me the bigger picture of the camera so that I can see how the camera can look, right, in a bigger way. Now I close this one. Bell & Howell Red S5 Slim 12 MP digital video camera. This is a title. And this is a price. Each item in real shop, you will have a barcode attached to it. Here also there is an item ID attached. There is a brief description about the product. If you go down, details, exactly like what is given in their inside specification, right? Ultra slim body, includes 2 GB, right? Resolution is 12 MP, digitization zoom is 5x, right? Dimensions, buying guidelines, right? So there are so much of information that are given for a particular product. This is in overstock.com. Are you able to see these features, right? For every product I have got, right? I have got a smaller image, larger image, title, ID, product ID, or say item ID, then brief description, detailed description, of course the price. For every item I have this information. Now wait, I come to become.com. Under become.com, I go to cell phones. Carefully watch. There's a difference between this and that. Here it shows me a Sony thing. I click on it. I click on that particular Sony cell phone. It loads me again. Look here. There's a picture. There's a title. Now if I click on that as well, okay, if I click on that, it loads some more information, almost like a bigger picture, detailed description, exactly what you have seen in Amazon.com. That is also being shown right here, right? So you could see that W518A cell phone wireless from AT&T, right? And you could see a bigger image and a detailed information about the product right here. Let us wait for a second till it loads. Come on. Do you see a striking coincidence between the way one e-commerce site is having over the other? If so, can you please raise the hands? This is very simple because every shop, whether you go to mall A or mall B, an electronic shop will have its own arrangements, a textile shop will have its own arrangements, layout will be very similar, shelves will be in almost even the shelf color will be very similar. The way they stack items will also be very simple. Okay. Takes a very long time. Maybe my internet is not that fast. Okay, let it load. I just want to show you how two different e-commerce sites can be ditto. But one important thing, by the time this loads, I can show you the other important thing. In Overstock.com, it did not show different stores. For one single product, right, it is showing multiple products and multiple stores, right? Whereas in Overstock.com, it is all available in the same place, right? Here, he is showing at the Nerds, at Next Imaging Incorporated, at 2 stores. Sony SRS BT100, it says at 2 stores. If I click on that at 2 stores, it takes me to another page where it shows 2 stores. Dell also sells, the Nerds also sells. The cost in this store is 106, the cost in this store is 149. So it is like you do some window shopping in multiple shops, arrive at the best price, correct? Whereas you don't see that in Overstock.com. In Overstock.com, it is always one show, right? I am now moving to Overstock.com. It doesn't show in multiple stores, only one store. Let me show again. See, now they are putting an animated image also in Become.com to show this is the product. On the right hand side, you could have you are seeing the price, right? And at the bottom, you are seeing all the details also, right? You could see the pricing, discount, right? Add to the cart. And then if you come over here, details of the camera, including the dimensions, tick mark, right? Everything. Wireless technology, what is the specification that this phone has? Everything it shows, which is exactly the same as what you see here in Overstock.com also. Correct? Here also add to cart, image, title, detailed description. Right? In Overstock.com and in Amazon.com, it is only one store, whereas if you go to Become.com, it displays multiple stores for the same product. Is this clear to you? Can you please raise the hands if so? So, one e-com site can sell items by itself, or it can sell items on behalf of many stores. Correct? Some people prefer to sell by themselves, or some people they give you the best price. Leave the price choice to customer, basically the buyer. But if 1 million people buy over 1 year and each one spends about $1,000, right? Imagine 1 million customers buy just $1,000 over a year through this site. Total revenue becomes 1 billion. But if you have a physical shop, you cannot manage that crowd, right? Whereas here, just by having a virtual site, companies have grown to billions of dollars that even big guys cannot even think that is possible through e-commerce. So it's a very simple idea of showing an item, its descriptions, its price, and also you could have seen a lot of discount information. If you buy before 31st March, 15% is off. If you buy before 15th April, this is for the first 200 purchasing people, 10% discount. Exactly everything happens in the shop. It is the same way it happens in e-commerce, except I cannot touch the item, right? Apart from that, it is same. Biggest advantage is sitting in one place, you can get millions of customers to your site, and that is what is Amazon is doing, that is what Overstock is doing, that's what is Become doing, that's what eBay doing, right? Bazi.com is doing. That's the basic thing of e-commerce. This is the basic idea. Is this clear? Can you please raise the hands? Good. Now I am going to go slightly deeper into that. Let us take this one. There is a manufacturer. There is one other advantage. There is a manufacturer. There is a retailer. After that, there is a wholesaler. There is a retailer. There is a buyer, right? I'm just giving examples, right? Manufacturer of a soap. They make millions of soap, okay? It will be done in a plant, manufacturing plant somewhere in Madhya Pradesh or say Andhra. In every district headquarters, right? In every district headquarters, there is a godown, right? Basically a warehouse. A warehouse meaning where somebody buys from manufacturers, stock them. Maybe every district headquarters all over India, there will be some wholesaler. He will buy and store in his warehouse. Every city or village or town, there are a lot of shopkeepers, right? There are a lot of shop owners, and this buyer is every citizen. The problem here in the regular commerce is, assume that the manufacturing cost is say 5 rupees for a soap. Plant sells to the wholesaler with some margin, maybe at rupees 7. This wholesaler adds his margin and then sells it to the retailer. It becomes 9, right? Then finally the retailer wants to make some money out of it, then he makes it as 11. I am just putting 2 rupees extra. Original cost of the product is 5 rupees. Finally, when it reaches the customer, it is 11 rupees. In fact, manufacturing cost of a CD, single CD, is less than 1 rupee. But if you go and then buy a CD, it becomes heavily costly, right? It's not less than 20 rupees or even at least 12 rupees. So why do they inflate 10 times or 12 times more? Because next week we are going to see something called the logistics. That means movement of goods, that's a cost. I need to transfer 100,000 soap bars from my plant in a truck and then reach some remote place in Karnataka. That's a cost. The logistics cost is added to that, and then everybody is adding their own margin. There are so many people in between. Logistics cost is there always, but over and above that logistics cost, people want to make profit. So ultimately, when manufacturer makes it at rupees 5, common citizen gets at 11, almost double the price. The problem here, in fact, electric bulbs. There is something called FMCG, right? FMCG sector. That means fast moving consumer goods, soap, shampoo, toothpaste, mosquito repellent, right? These are all fast moving consumer items. Consumers buy, they need every month or they need every week. Shaving creams, right? Razors. So people need it. And you cannot store it 1,000 soaps for the entire year. You buy every month or you buy every week or alternate weeks. So for all the FMCG sector, manufacturing cost is less, logistics cost is more, profit at every level is more. If I have more people in between layers here, right? The more layers I have between manufacturer and buyer, cost gets inflated. Whereas in e-commerce, this is eliminated. And this is to some extent eliminated, but maybe one in a country. So the number of layers in e-com, layers between manufacturer and the buyer is reduced a lot. So cost of purchasing an e-commerce product is less. Compared to what you get in shop, cost is less. That is why people will find it cheaper over online than finding it in a shop. But again, there is something called, everywhere you could have seen, see here, shipping and returns, right? There is something called shipping. If I say clicking on the shipping and returns, the shipping means they will send that over the courier. $2.95 shipping cost, right? That means to courier. There are a lot of shipping companies like UPS, then FedEx. In India, Blue Dart, right? Professional couriers, DHL couriers, desk-to-desk couriers. A lot of courier companies are already there. So what they feel is always cost plus shipping, right? If we are able to manage that, e-commerce can get you billions of dollars. That is the fundamental mantra. Rather than having a shipping for a dedicated truck, right? The problem here in regular commerce is you cannot get 2 soaps from your wholesaler. You have to always buy thousands of soaps or thousands of Coca-Cola bottles. Because if you want to minimize the logistics cost, increase the volume, right? To minimize logistics cost, increase volume, so that whether I purchase 100 soaps or 1000 soaps, cost is going to be the same over the truck. So purchase 1000. So you have to pay upfront a lot of money to the manufacturer. Store it in your shop, then sell it. So you pay to the manufacturer, then sell it out, so that you are locking money plus wastage of space, locking up money upfront, right? Whereas in e-commerce, I can send only one camera to the guy directly to the door, and the courier cost becomes cheaper, right? Even assume that you have got a $4 margin. Even if you're able to sell that out, it becomes very simple. So, and they have a deal with all the courier companies to have half the rate or even 30% of the natural rate that they will apply to a common citizen. So e-commerce is a viable place where buyer and the manufacturer and the stores can easily transact items without any issues. But only thing is, except, right? Except touch and feel. Except the biggest maja, right? bargain. I cannot go and then bargain in e-commerce. Whereas it becomes an auction. If you take eBay and all, we will talk about that tomorrow. It becomes an auction. Bargain doesn't happen with the shopkeeper in e-commerce, whereas in a normal commerce, it happens. This is the basic thing that happens in e-commerce. Tomorrow, what we are going to see is how information comes from different stores to the site. What happens on a daily basis? How do I know that the price of this item on this day is this much? Right? Before and after purchase, what happens? If I am not happy with the product, what should I do? Right? All these things do happen in e-commerce, but many people simply understand, okay, go to website, click on an item, buy. That is not the end of e-commerce. There are so many things happen beyond that also. We are going to see all those items which go beyond the website tomorrow and day after tomorrow. Are the concepts that we talked about today are clear? Any doubts? I am open to answering your doubts now. Okay, one doubt, 1% is a very good doubt. When we purchase via stores, there's a sales tax. Same way, what about the international purchase, right? Yes. There are usually the internet purchase, so far it has not attracted a lot of sales, regular sales tax and other stuff. But now they are also under the scanner. But all the laws with respect to India, with respect to America, they still happen. So if someone has to sell via internet in India, they have to abide by the rules of India. So there is some amount of taxation happening, but it is very less compared to a normal shop. Principally, if a purchase happens, it is subjected to tax, but there are certain rebates given in the tax, right? So in that front also, e-commerce is beneficial to the seller as well as the buyer. One other doubt has come, how suppose I buy, from where it comes? I think this person is meaning, if I purchase a camcorder like this, okay, or a cell phone like this, does it come from this place, does it come from this place, or from Become, right? All the stores and the company which are selling the product, right? This is the product of, I think, Bell & Howell, right? Bell & Howell is the company that sells this particular camera, and Overstock.com will have a deal with this company. Whether company directly should send, we will talk about that tomorrow, but ideally either this site owner or this manufacturer should take care of sending the product to the customer, to the buyer. Yes, one person has asked, if I have to sell through e-commerce, where I need to maintain the stock. We will come to that tomorrow. E-commerce is not just stopping at the website. Finally, I give my credit card to buy, my credit card is charged, I need this item to be delivered on my door. It has to be packaged. If I am not satisfied, I should return. There are so many things that happen, right? So, and you cannot say this item will reach you in another 15 days. It has to come quickly also. We will see that tomorrow. Logistics, shipping, handling, everything we'll see tomorrow. Okay, one other person has, it's a very good question. See, this Overstock.com is a US site and it shows Indian flag and then in Indian price, right? Because the moment I connect from Indian IP address, it knows that I am connecting from India. it shows me in INR, Indian rupees. Whereas if I connect from Singapore, based on the IP address, it will come to know that I'm connecting from Singapore. It will show in Singapore dollars. Yes. Currency. What currency? What is the conversion factor? Accordingly, it will determine the buyer psychology. Because if it shows in dollar, it doesn't matter to me, right? I want to buy only in Indian rupees to see, compare, etc., etc., right? So based on my IP address, it knows from where I am coming from. Okay, one other question has come. In one side, we have seen an animation. In another side, we don't have an animation. Yeah, true, very true. In many sites, they put only static pictures, small and big. And again, top view, left view, front view, right? All those views they may put. But some companies provide 3D animation pictures so that it is closer to what you see in the shop. That's another area. Okay? It's another area where you can still make things happen. Okay, good. I don't see any other doubts coming in today's portion from people. So probably we'll close the session today here. This is the basic principle of e-commerce. We saw advantages and disadvantages of regular commerce and e-commerce. And we saw about what all the information that is stored. We saw 3 different sites. And then we saw some of the attributes that people will store. Tomorrow we are going to see how exactly it happens as a flow. How they get product information, price information, etc., from different stores and companies, and what happens after the purchase happens. We will see that in tomorrow's session. Thanks a lot. Bye.